Welcome back to the One Predator podcast.
All right, guys, another episode, One Predator podcast. We got two guests.
We have listeners.
Joining us.
Yeah.
We drove down, I don't know how far.
It's not far.
It was like an hour and 7 minutes.
Hour to get here.
Yeah, it's not far.
Move your phone.
Oh, is it making that sound?
Mm-hmm.
If they're listening. Okay.
All right. So we have two guys joining us, coyote hunters.
You guys have a Facebook page too, right?
Yes.
What is it?
New York Coyote Hunters.
That's what it is. That's what I thought. I didn't do my homework.
So introduce yourselves.
Right.
Right. So my name's Jeremy Stoliker. I have a real job, but my part-time job is coyote hunting, and then we also have the defender training, pistol class, pistol stuff. Carl's wife's been taking it, the women's only stuff. So we do that, and then a little bit of everything, long range shooting, all sorts of stuff like that. So.
All right.
Yeah. My name's Nick Scavia. Much like Jeremy, I also have a real job. Just got into coyote hunting, I don't know, probably 10 years ago or so on a pretty limited basis, but up until the point I met Jeremy, never really did too much of it,
Then things escalated.
Yeah, a lot.
They escalate quickly.
They do. It gets out of control quick.
Things get out of hand so fast.
I tell everybody, I said, you can go with me if you want, but you're going to spend a lot of money tomorrow. So
I just tell people don't even bother coming unless you got a couple of grand laying around.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Anyone that's like, hey, I'd like to get in there, I was like, I can help you make all the bad decisions.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's easy to
But
do.
we've said that before. Think about where we started with lights and stuff and how much we've learned. So the new people coming in, they have such a crutch. It's
Big
like,
time.
Well, I'm looking at this scope. Don't buy that thing. You know what I mean? Or I want to do this. Yeah, you can, but it won't really work the way you want it. That kind of thing. But how long you been hunting coyotes?
It's actually, I've only been really hunting coyotes for 2 years, 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we used to obviously do some farming stuff, so maybe some have died in some hay fields.
Yeah, that happens.
After some hay's
I
been
can
cut.
concur.
But really legit, the last 2 years has gotten serious.
Yeah. First gun?
First gun
For coyotes.
was a 223. It was a dangerous black gun, but it had all the proper
Dare you?
proper safety stuff that New York says you're supposed to have on it, so it's
Right.
okay. But I started off with the terrible ATN scope that my buddy gave me because he bought a good one. He bought an I-Ray, and then he gave me his ATN, which was...
Thermal?
Yeah, thermal. Oh, we're all thermal guys here. We don't like the nasty night vision stuff like you guys do. But nope. Started off with that, and you could tell that you were looking at a blob that was hot. You couldn't tell what it was. So after I went with him one night, and then I switched to the... I went out and bought an expensive scope the next day
Right.
after that. So
Makes a lot of sense.
yep.
So your first coyote, how was it?
As in nighttime hunting or as in farming
nighttime.
hunting? Nighttime hunting. It was good. The very first one was with that ATN I missed. It was that layup shot, like 120 yards.
Whew.
Pretty sure I shot right over it with the 223. And then the next, I went on a roll after that. I think I shot like 3 or 4 in a row, but it was a good time. Most of them are right on my farm. I have a little farm, 130 acres, and the first year I shot 11 just off of my farm.
Oh, wow. Bait piles or calling?
Mostly just going out and looking at night. I do have a bait pile set up that I run, but I just walk outside at like 10 o'clock when I was getting ready to go to bed and shine the thermal around, and I'd see a couple and then just go after them, and they didn't go too far. They hung around. So,
Wow. How long you been hunting coyotes?
Roughly like 10 years or
10
so.
years?
Yeah.
What got you into it?
Well, we were talking beforehand. I've got a beagle, and
Yeah.
during the winter months, my stepfather would always snowblow paths around our yard for the beagle to get around. And one winter, we had a coyote standing 10 foot from our back door, right next to our dog, playing with him. and it turned and took off, went out back down the trails, and there was another one waiting for him. So he had come back running, and they never touched him, but he had jumped up all 5 steps onto the porch and slid on the ice and tore both of his ACLs. So that was kind of like all right, it's time to kind of go after these things. I've always heard him, see him deer hunt and whatnot, but that's more or less kind of.
And you lights, night vision? What'd you start with?
So I started with a green light, and then I graduated to night vision, which I'm not opposed to night vision. Right. I think it certainly shines in certain scenarios. If you're closer to a lot of houses, you never know. You might call a dog in from somebody's house or whatever.
That has happened to us.
So if I ever hunt real close to the house, I'll run night vision or stuff like that. But for the most part, it's all thermal stuff now for me. Yeah.
Pulsar?
Nope. I'm actually shooting a Rix L3 this year.
Yeah. You like it?
I do like it. We
640?
No, it's a 384.
Oh.
We had the 640 for a short period of time, and I wasn't really too terribly impressed with the difference between the 384 and the 640. So I think I'm just gonna hang on to my 384 for the time being.
And that runs on 18 650s, right?
It does.
How's that in the cold?
It's actually pretty decent. Obviously, make sure your batteries are charged before you go out. But
yeah, that's super important.
big time. I've done that plenty of times.
Pro tip, everybody.
Right.
Yeah. Write that down.
Plug your shit in.
Yeah,
Charge
definitely.
yourself before you go hunting.
I noticed if it's 10 degrees, then you start to notice that they drain quicker. But I'm still getting, honestly, a solid night out of one battery.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
It's great.
Yeah.
Also, we should say that a solid night for us is 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah,
We're not
hunting until 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Or,
You ain't lived then.
I mean, I've done it a time or two.
If you hunt so long that Stewart's is opening, and if you're from New York, you know what Stewart's is. You're putting time in, and we have done it.
You get a coffee when they close and a coffee when they open back up.
Well, we hit the Loves one night and had some fucking burritos. Oh my god!
The rule around
it was a
us
long
is,
ride home. Boy, it smelled fucking bad in there. It was terrible.
If we're killing coyotes, we'll stay out. But if it slows down and we're not seeing anything or hearing anything, then we usually head back.
So you guys go out you have kids.
Yep.
Do you?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Do you have a wife?
No.
Okay.
I've been with her for 10 years, so.
Okay, so you have a wife. You just don't. It's just a piece of paper. To them, it's everything. But so with the kids, do you wait? You got daddy duty, right?
Yeah, usually they go to bed 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yep.
So 8 o'clock is my free time, and I usually tell Nick, and either I go to his house, depending on where we're going, or he comes to my house, and then we head right out. So usually it's 8:30, and we're home 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a good night for us.
Yeah, we start later.
On Thursdays and Fridays, because my wife works nights, so I have to tonight. Would have to wait for her to come home because I can't leave them; they're too little.
Right.
And then we go. But solo nights or nights that she is here, we leave 8 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock. Is safe.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said this before. I do better going out all night long than I do getting up early. So, if I'm out, I can run it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm out and we're shooting, I don't care if we're even putting them in the truck. If we're getting responses and they're moving and there's just circumstantial why it's not happening, either they're in a road or next to a house, we'll stay out. But once we get that first one, I'm like, all right, let's go. I could be dead shit tired, and that first one drops, and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. Be up for a month now.
Yeah.
You get that instant adrenaline, too, that kicks in. There's something about coyote hunting that it's just way different. The closest thing I can describe to it is bow hunting with a deer when you're 12 yards away from a whitetail. That's the same feeling you get when you're out dropping coyotes.
Yeah, except for they pop up at 500 yards and you immediately start to get that, ooh, all right, here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have the anticipation of them.
You watch them walk all the way in,
right.
or they hold up at 300-400 yards. And
that's good enough.
Nick likes to shoot them far away. I like to see how close we can get them. And he's like, we're going to shoot them? We're going to shoot them? I'm like, just let them keep coming.
Well, I mean, that's circumstantial, too, and you guys know that. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's how their body language is, how they're responding to it. how your wind is. Are they circling in your no spot?
Right.
That kind of thing. Then you gotta kind of fly by the seat of your pants. You know.
Oh, definitely.
But like, I can't hit anything close.
No.
They have to be far. I can pull shots off, and I'm not even like tooting my own horn. Like we called our first double. He hit his, and I shot fucking 12 inches to the side of mine, and they were like 80 yards.
If that.
Yeah, they were close.
They were-
we had Roy that night. They were going to eat us.
Yeah, they were coming. That was the first night of our second tournament,
Yeah.
and we call in this double, and I'm like, on the right, 2 of them coming.
And they were coming.
They charging in hard, and he woofed at them. They check up, like, oh, here's our chance. Pow! I hit mine. He's like, you can see
the
in
snow.
the video, you can see the snow kick up.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't hit mine. You shot. My safety was on.
Yeah. So his gun
So
went,
I'm pulling the trigger. Nothing's
there.
happening. He shot. They ran. I hit mine.
you hit yours on the run.
Yeah.
And then so mine disappears because obviously I didn't even nick it. And his runs out to the left, and it's hit. Like, you can see it. It's fumbling up. It's going to go down. And it stops at like 310 for like 1 millisecond. Turns and looks at us, and I fucking stoned it. Now, I just missed one
At
like
80.
80. But 310?
No problem.
We had the same thing happen with a fox down there, same field. And that was a Wraith
Yeah.
with
And
the
you were
18-inch barrel.
The original Wraith, or
Yeah.
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 And
not even
then-
the HD.
No, not
No.
the HG.
Ooh.
The yeah, it's
That's
OG.
That's some guesswork.
So it ran away from us.
Yeah.
I don't even think, did I shoot that night? I missed them.
No, you shot it.
Yeah. And it ran away, and then it checked up again.
And he checks up and he shoots. It's like, that thing is gone. I was like, no, you dumped it. He's like, no, I didn't. I was like, yeah,
That was
you
like
did.
4 something.
No, really.
With an 18-inch barrel on a 223 and a Wraith.
Yeah.
And I still don't know how, but it worked.
Yeah, it works.
Factory ammo, what green?
55 grain.
Factory.
Yep.
The VMAX stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's that gun shoots Hornady factory ammo. It shoots it well.
And keep shooting it.
My bolt gun, I was getting reloads from Lax Ammunition.
Yeah, LAX.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're great. They're hotter. They're way hotter than your factory ammo. And but nobody will do transfers for us down here no more. So
Of course.
then I bought the reload and stuff, and I still have a ton of rounds. I haven't done any reloading yet. I'm going to. It's going to happen. But that stuff, I love that stuff. That it's very consistent, and it's tack driver. But there's a huge difference. It must be the powder that's in it. It's super hot.
Oh yeah.
You shoot those bullets side by side, same gun. One's hotter, way hotter.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can tell. So you can't interchange them.
Right.
Once you're there, that's it.
Makes sense.
But that was, because I started out shooting FMJs, man. I didn't know no better.
Punch a hole in them.
Right. I didn't know no better. And then you had runners. You had
Yeah.
runners, you had runners, you had runners. It was just, poking. And then I got in. I, stumbled upon it. I went to Guns and talked to Tony about it. He's like, well, I got these Hornadies. They're polymer tip. That's what you want.
Yeah.
And I started running them, and that is all I run. I mean, I have a ton of other rounds, but I will only hunt with Hornady.
Those VMAXs are deadly.
They're just a nasty.
Just about anything you put them in, a VMAX
Right.
is dangerous.
And what I like about it, their ammo, you take any other ammo, it's very consistent. Like as far as how it shoots and how it groups for factory ammo. I mean, I don't Winchester, none of that shit. Well,
my federal load.
The Federals
so I
were
shoot
pretty good.
75 grain VMAX, but it's a federal load.
okay.
Federal makes them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm fairly consistent with
we
those.
put some Winchester stuff. Winchester came out with a polymer tip. Tony got some last year and put it through one of them. It killed. It killed. I mean, it's still just not as consistent as a Hornady round. I'm sorry. I don't know what they got their shit together.
They do. They know what they're doing.
Right,
been in the game a long time.
So I'm shooting 65 VMAXs in mine, hand loads. But
Yeah.
Same thing. I love them.
65. What's your barrel twist?
I'm not sure. It's a
Yeah.
Ruger American Gen 2.
Yeah.
I just bought my son one.
A 243.
Well, 243. Yeah.
Hammers.
That was it.
I love that gun.
We gotta zero it yet. We need to come down and have church. But,
Yeah.
I took my Pulsar C50. Oh my god.
You
Brain
forgot
fart.
what you had?
Yeah, I took the C50 off my Tika and put it on the Ruger, and I got the Spectrum.
Yeah.
So
Which the Spectrum's a nice scope.
Is it?
I brought it with me if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah, we will
afterwards.
before we leave.
Absolutely.
It's definitely one because I have 3 rifles to set up yet, and I like to try to the DNT.
Mhm.
I love the DNT.
That Zulus.
Yep, for the money, and you get the kit with a sniper hog light, and it's a compact.
It's tiny.
It's
so
tiny.
small.
Yeah, it's all
18 650s. You can run a battery pack on it. So we have the magnetic
cable.
cords.
Yep.
And you just take the battery, the one. It's not the battery cover, but it's the cover where you charge it off. Don't lose that fucker. That's the only thing I hate. Is it don't. It needs a strap on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I stick it in my pocket. And then just if I have to, I run a Hogster battery pack.
Yep.
On it, and but same thing. My 18 650s, I run all night on that thing.
Yeah, I can't complain anything about those.
Yeah,
Right.
AGM's the same.
I just get battery life is huge for us because it's fucking cold here,
Yeah.
and
We're from the Great White North, bud.
yeah, yeah.
We're about an hour north. So
Yeah.
it's cold.
Yeah, we lost Josh in the snowbank up there. We're driving. I'm like, holy shit, Josh, they got snow.
That was a huge fucking snowbank.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is,
It hid the truck. That
Yeah.
thing had to be 12 foot tall. We pull up on the side of the road. It's all clear on the side of the road, and there's this snowbank. I mean, it had to be 12 foot tall.
and not for nothing, Brian and Andy went over it, and I let them go first. So I look at this fucker, and I'm like, I know what this is. And Andy fucking whoop, right up over the top. I'm like, oh, we're good. It's froze. Then Brian goes, and then I was like, fuck it, let Josh go. Josh went, and Josh got up to the top, and he went, whoop, and he was gone.
This year,
like,
this year was like the year of the drifts around us. It was crazy.
Horrible.
That must be what it was, but it was so cold. It stayed cold that long that the snow just kept drifting and it just kept getting harder and harder. And
it was miserable.
crazy.
that night
Crunchy.
we were
The
up
last
there.
last like month, you had like stop to get through anything. The last night I hunted on about 2 inches of ice above about a foot of snow, and about every 5th step I would break through.
Snowshoes, man.
Yeah.
Bucky.
Bucky.
yeah, was that last episode or that
Yeah.
episode
Yeah,
before?
that was the last one.
Bucky's cool dude.
Yeah. We
I'm
need it
thinking
where
about
he's
getting
at.
a set and throwing them in the truck.
Yeah.
It might be worth it.
Yeah, I say it might not be a horrible idea.
If you get
Well-
the snow for sure.
Well, the thing is like my truck, once, October starts, cap goes on, everything goes in there, other than the rifles, and it just stays in there. So, like, I'm thinking about a pair of snowshoes, throw them in there. Fuck it. You know?
Yeah.
So
Well,
if we end up...
can't hurt nothing just sitting there.
Right.
Well, I mean,
we
we
need
got
'em,
quite a
they're
bit.
there.
I mean, it was just... If it'll keep us above the crunchy shit, that's a plus right there.
Yeah.
Because we would have, like, 6 inches, and you'd break through. And it's like... You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
worst.
like... And I don't... some people say it doesn't matter. It matters to me.
I think so too. Yeah.
You know?
Stampeding on through all that,
Right.
getting there.
Well,
Right.
we did that.
Can't help.
We did that up on top of the hill there
Yeah.
that one night. It wind. I don't know why we went. The wind was howling, and we had probably a half inch of crust on 4 or 5 inches of snow, and we walked probably 500-600 yards in to get to a spot where we were concealed and close enough to where they might come out. And it was just like so loud.
Until
Yeah.
you get halfway out there and you start second guessing what you're even doing.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was just,
right. Like you can hear me 3 towns over.
Yeah.
Walking through
Yep.
this field.
Yeah.
Because at night it's quiet.
Yeah, there's
Which
no
is the
way
other
no
reason why.
coyotes are coming to this. We're making enough noise. Sounds like
Right.
we're a train.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, rolling through the middle of a cornfield.
Right.
There, I work with trains. Trains in the snow are stupid quiet.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I believe you.
We're probably a little louder than that.
Till they come off the track.
Well, that's a different story. When they're on the rail where they're supposed to be coming through, if there's a lot of snow on the ground, you won't hear them until you see it, and then you're like, "Holy shit, there it is."
Interesting.
They're quiet. Real
So you
quiet.
started, we got way off.
yeah.
So you started with night vision. You have a thermal now.
Yep.
243 always?
No, actually. Right when the dogs had gone after my dog, All I had at the time was a 17
Yeah.
HMR, so that's what I had for a while. I never even had a coyote in front of me, didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
But once I finally decided that I was going to get serious about it, and I actually started hunting with my next door neighbor who knows Brian pretty well, is Rick DeLoss. I don't know if you know his name at all. He used to hunt on TV back in the day with the Downwind Outdoor guys.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You DWO guy.
Yeah.
All right.
I went hunting with him a couple times, and just like we were talking beforehand, like I went once, and that was enough.
Yeah,
Like,
hooked.
I gotta
You
do
hunted
it.
with the Downwind Outdoor guys, then I was like a fucking little schoolgirl that night we went with Andy.
Yeah. So I don't. He's like I said, he's my neighbor. I don't hunt with him very often, because he's usually hooked up with Andy.
Yeah.
But I went out with him once, and that was enough for me to get into it. So I ended up buying my own scope, and then I built an AR and 204 Ruger.
Yeah.
So I've been
Yeah.
there with the smaller caliber stuff. Actually, I really
The
enjoyed.
204 is a great round.
I love that gun, man. The first coyote I killed was like probably 165 yards out, and it dropped in a pile.
Yeah.
Didn't have any issues with it. I shot a double with it out to I think 225 one night.
Shot placement, man. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
exactly. And it was just that, What only reason I switched is I ended up walking up on dogs one night. I was at a farm where you have to walk like 3/4 of a mile uphill on this trail, really. And I knew where I wanted to go when I got there, so I started cutting across the field, and I turned to look to my right, and there was 5 of them standing there.
Oh, jeez.
So didn't hit the record button or nothing. Just free-handed, probably $160 or so. I shot, and I heard it hit one. And I went up and set my call out real quick. I played. They all came back. I hit another one, and I never found either of them.
Ooh.
I was finding pin drops of blood every like 20 yards. So yeah, I'm sure it was shot placement.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm like,
It's just
like,
they're vitals. It's a small area.
yeah, they say it's about the size of like a mason jar.
Yeah. So, it's a small fucking area. So if you're a little bit off, and the thing with them polymer tip bullets, they have to hit something to fragment to cause damage.
Right.
If they go in and fragment and don't hit no vitals, those coyotes
They're
will
strong.
live through that shit.
Yeah.
They're brazen. They're very, very tough.
Well, we had called that pack of 8 in last year.
Yeah, we didn't kill any. Well, we killed one.
One's definitely dead.
It was there was some lapses in
Yeah.
execution there.
Right,
but-
yeah. Like there was a couple times last year I forgot to chamber around in my gun. I think that
way.
night.
That's never happened.
Yeah,
No.
I've never done it. It did it 3
We were-
times last year. And I
we were
think
in Aux. We've been to this place. It's my father-in-law's. We've been to this place 4 times, and we could hear coyotes. We could never get them to come to us. And then we were calling for like an hour. We walked all the way back to the truck, and they finally went off. So we walked all the way back out, like 600 yards each way. And then we get down there, and there's like 8 of them just playing with each other in the middle of the field. We're like, what the H?
yeah, probably like 600 yards out from
And we
where
just
we
kept,
were.
it was bright out, and we're just walking across the field towards them, and they're just like, they don't even care that we're there. We're just walking up. We get closer, and we got to like 200 yards.
That's
and then
close enough.
They're like, we'll start shooting now, and we shot the one. I think I shot the one and winged it. He forgot to either safety or to load, and then he definitely hit one on the run when they all started scattering, but we didn't find either of them. But
That was the night we were telling you guys about when he said, "All right, I've had enough of this." After his last shot, and turned around and went to get the truck.
if I'm going to get the truck, I'm done
But
with this.
I got back my pack and everything was about 100 yards behind me. I went back and grabbed my spare magazine because I was out of ammo. I walked back up to my gun, and I don't remember if it was the one that he hit or the one that I hit. Whichever one it was dropped immediately as soon as we had shot it.
Mm-hmm.
When I got back to the gun, it was about 200 yards from where it dropped, and it was slowly moving away.
Yeah.
That was
They're tough.
And
Well,
what were you shooting last year? That was what,
That was the 22 arc.
22 arc.
That was the 5-pack that we walked in on one night, the tournament night.
Mm-hmm. Down
And-
south.
Down south. And
We spot stalked those fuckers.
Oh yeah.
600
there
yards.
were what?
They were
No, we started out like 350
they were laying down.
in the middle
Deer
of the
all around them.
middle of the cornfield, just 5 of them just chilling. And our listeners, they've heard this story before, but we stalked them all the way to what, like 180, 200 yards.
We'd pick up, move in, set back down, check them. They're laying there, licking each other, just fucking chilling. Pick up, move, pick up.
All right, tactics talk. Do you guys leapfrog, or do you both go at the same time?
Then we moved at the same time. Yeah.
But we had hand scanners, so
Well, you did. I didn't.
Yeah.
I
so
just got my Tika.
I
hand
was
scanners are a
scanning
game
while I
changer.
was walking
They're so nice.
with my shit in my tripod, and we got in on him. Did we hit anything?
I did.
Yeah, he hit the one.
I hit because it was like I did the count.
Yeah, here we
and
go with the counts.
The count thing. It doesn't work
stupid.
for us.
It works for us pretty good.
Yeah.
So like I did a 3 count over like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Like slow, make sure everyone
Your
was,
heart's pumping.
Oh, yeah.
You just walked spot stalk 200 and some yards.
Yeah, in the snow.
It was combine corn.
Oh, is it okay?
So tons of fodder.
crunchy,
Crunchy and
Oh,
loud.
dude.
And that's the last time we moved. The one picked its head up and it was looking around. And I'm like, this is it, boys.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Now.
So
Right.
set up. I'm like, all right, I got this one. You got that one. That one. All right, 3. It was a long count. I hit 1. Carl shoots. I pulled, and then
I missed.
And then
Did
I
you?
pull the trigger. I hit mine. They scatter, and it was just World War III.
So
up there.
at,
it too
at
close
the
for you?
time, yeah, it was. So I'll get to that. So that was Wraith.
Wraith, yeah.
Uh,
No, I had the Tika, so it was a C50.
So I'm looking at. I can't tell. They're heads down, eyes shut. So if you ever use night vision, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at.
Yeah, it could be
The
a lump.
ass, a rock. I
Right.
have no idea. I know it's an animal. I don't know which way it's facing. So when he's counting, I'm like trying to figure out: is that the front? Is that the back? What end am I shooting at?
Yeah.
Because they were literally like just balled up in the field, laying down, just not looking at us. And right when he shot his, she had looked back, and because I seen the eyes
Mhm.
when he was counting, she picked her head up and looked back, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what I'm looking at. I know it's a dog, but I don't know which end.
Right.
So I shoot, I missed. His flops around, it's down. Steve, I don't know what the hell he did. He didn't hit nothing either. But we're shooting in between deer. Like there's deer all around these things. So they book it and they take off. One gets out down the other end of the cornfield. I forget, 320, 4 something.
Yeah, it was far.
It was far.
Yeah.
And it checks up. I woof, I like howl at it. It stops at the tree line, turns around, looks at me, and I fired, and I hit it. Boy, that thing cockeyed for miles. I could hear it. Just pup distress. So
All
I
the
don't
way.
know where I hit it, but
Yeah, it was yelping and running.
I'm going to say I hit it in the foot.
Yeah.
Because it was that far, and it dropped.
Never
and I
found
didn't
it.
have the holdover right. And this thing, for fucking miles, I heard this thing going. Now, another example. It was too close. Once it got out, I was golden.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm good to go. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I can't. I like them around 200. That's where
That's
I feel
comfortable.
good. Right.
Yeah.
If they get closer, I can do it. I just have to keep my shit together.
It's probably that thing in your head saying, "Ooh, that's far away. I need to aim better now."
Right.
Then when it's up close, you're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna blast him." So
Well-
I started blasting.
Well, the thing is, Rusty says all the time, you don't ever want to overthink it. We've taken a dead coyote, laid it on a truck with a tape measure, and you look at the ballistics of your bullet. So if your bullet is, whatever, an inch low at 300 yards, or just to say, that's not that much on a body. Like if you literally lay one there and take a tape measure, and their vitals, that's not that much. So you think in your mind, because that's far, that you need to hold over. That's where you're fucking up.
Right.
That's right.
Probably shooting right over him.
Yep. That's right where you're screwing up, because hold over on them at that far. You might think you're only 6 inches over its back, and you're like 2 feet or
Right.
a foot.
Yeah. Definitely deceiving at night.
Right. Depth perception. We say it all the time.
Yeah.
And nobody,
Hunting at night
if
is
you've
a
never
whole
hunted
different
at night,
game.
you'll never understand until you do it.
Nope.
Yeah, I try to explain to people, like, you're not looking at a 3D image. You're looking at a 2D image. You're looking at a screen, and that sensor is telling the screen what to show you. So it's hard to. There's absolutely no depth perception. You have to have something with a rangefinder to be good at it.
Yeah, when I got my scanner, I started ranging fields, man. I'm
Yep.
like, I could have shot that dog.
Yeah.
That's close enough.
Yep.
You know, and now you can't. The biggest thing is don't ever overthink it.
Yep.
You know what your round can do. You practice enough, like we do.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to stay true to it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, pro tip on that too. Before we got something with rangefinders, because we both, well, Nick has it now. I got rid of mine, but we used to pull up wherever we were hunting, and we would go on Onyx, and then you kind of see, okay, we're gonna set up here, and then you could use that little tool in there to find out how far it is from here to like the edge of the woods.
Yeah.
So we did that for a while, and that is helpful because you know, okay, as long as I'm inside that wood line, it's only 300 yards. I know I can hold top of its back, and I'm gonna hit it.
Well, that's what I'm
somewhere in
saying.
the
Like the
vitals.
shit that they have now that we didn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's such a crutch to the new guys that want to get
Right.
into it. I mean, there's none of that. You know, I'm using a bright, literal white light in the middle of the dark now. It's
Right.
You have no depth perception whatsoever.
And that's even
And-
the thermals. Look at how the, you know, like you say with the ATNs. I've heard lots of the same stories about those. And now with the thermals that you have now, like you can tell the difference between a coyote and a fox,
Yeah.
which doesn't sound difficult.
Until you do it in the dark.
Distance, you know, at 500-600 yards,
Yeah.
you can tell the difference. That's the same thing with us with our night visions. We look at the eye shine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fox is going to be closer together than a coyote, and then a deer, and then, you know what I mean? That's, you know, but with our sniper hog lights and the scopes we have now, we can see 800 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Without a problem.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a learning curve too as you get into it more, and the more time you spend behind the scope, you learn like, all right, that's a deer because of how far its head moves when it's on the ground
Yep.
eating to how high up it goes, or that's a coyote because its tail isn't as bushy as a fox's.
Right.
It's got a different gait to it, you know.
Right.
Right.
And how they move.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
Big
coyotes, I
with
notice like to
thermals.
keep their tail real low. It always kind of has like a curve in the end of it
Yep.
for the most part, where the fox is usually kind of
Straight
higher and
out.
more straight out. Yeah.
And they prance.
Yeah. Yeah. Her
You
coyote
know.
kind of lopes through the field a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah. Foxes are like ding, 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 ding. No, they bounce. You know.
Just
Yeah.
out there having a good time.
Yeah, feel good fox, man. Feel good fox. Like if you don't see nothing, you can at least hit a rabbit and shoot a fox.
Yeah.
We were letting them go. We were like,
Well,
we let a bunch of them go.
early in the season before Fox opened up. We're like, oh, fox.
Yeah, we were calling them
fox,
crazy.
fox.
Oh, yeah.
Gray fox, like
They were showing up to howls.
20 yards from us.
So it's funny you say that. The first fox I killed this year, I called into a female invitation howl within 2 minutes of hitting the call. Let it play for one cycle, shut it off. Fox comes running in.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had a gray come in. We were only playing vocals.
yeah.
This gray comes in.
Yeah, like charge it in. I'm like, oh, here we go, here we go.
do.
And I'm looking at it. I'm like, son of a bitch,
Yeah,
that's a
just-
fox.
just this tiny little gray. He came within 20 yards of us, running through the field.
It's not seasoned. Beautiful gray.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's how it
gray.
always works.
Yeah, of course.
And then we end up, and I was messing with it, so I had my mouse squeaker in my pocket. I shut the call off, and I'm sitting here, you know, squeaking it, and it come in, it's moving. I'm like, this thing's gonna sit right on, man, it's right, and I'm there, and it's looking at me, and I'm like, squeaky, squeaky, you know,
Yeah.
just fucking with it, you know. I just wanted to see how close I could get it.
Yep.
Like when you look through your scope, and it's like the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's close.
Got no air around it.
Right, that's close. Wow.
That's funny.
A lot of similar stories here.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, you started doing it because you had pressure with your your own pets.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what sparked it up for me.
Right. And you guys said you have e-callers, right?
Yep.
You don't do hand calls, no hand calls.
We have hand calls, but I don't. I'm not very good with it yet. I actually have one of Brian's rabbit squealers, and I'm all right with it. I just don't like. I think you just got to get a coyote to come in while you're blowing it to be like, okay, yes, this sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yes, this works.
To me, it doesn't sound. It doesn't quite sound right, but when you listen to e-call, you know.
I feel you there.
When we've talked about this before, when you're blowing on the call,
It's
it
never gonna
sounds
sound
like
good.
garbage to
Oh,
you.
yeah.
But when
Sounds
you
horrible.
get out away from it,
Yeah.
sounds phenomenal.
I called one in one night, and I'm doing hand calling, and I say to him, I'm going to shoot this thing. Get your hand call out and keep going. And so mine and his sound totally fucking different.
Mhm.
I'm like, he starts blowing on it, and I'm behind my rifle, and I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, I'm never going to shoot this thing. It's going to run away. It's over there. It's like a dying duck. And it fucking worked.
That's it.
The only thing like we'll have to get the Messiah down here, and he can do a
There
little
you go.
hand call session.
Mr. Rush.
That's what I call him. He loves
Messiah.
it.
He showed me, so I actually went to his place to pick it up, and he was there. I talked to him, and he showed me how you hold your hands and how to do it, and so you can breathe without winding
Yep.
yourself doing it and stuff. And said I practice at home quite a bit, but I just don't feel comfortable yet going out. And the second thing is I really don't like them looking at me, because I kind of compromise where we set up to make sure we have a good shot everywhere, and I don't want them looking at me and skylining me. So I kind of, the e-collar's nice. It just takes the sound away from you. It gets them looking in another direction.
Yes, which I've had the same situation happen to me before, which is why even though we do run hand calls, the e-collar goes out. Because if they start closing distance where you have that situation happening,
You need to get their eyes off of you.
just be ready with your remote and then go, we've done it. We've hand called them in and then click the e-collar on, and even went as far as turn the decoy on the e-collar to get them off of us because they were beelining for us, which is fine if you're set up and ready. So,
Right.
well, see, now you got two of you. So if you're hand calling, he should be ready to go all the time.
Yeah.
Because that way, if you can't get ready, and then if there's a double, well,
I have to make a sacrifice here.
some
Or a
shit
quad.
happens.
As long as
Quad.
something dies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what did we shoot that night? 4 we had come in, and we shot our synchronized double this year.
Yeah, it was a quad. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 4, and that, they
4
got close, guys.
4 confirmed. Yeah.
Right.
And you
I-
hit it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I stoned it.
It was what, 90?
Yeah,
90
it was like
yards?
under 100, and I could see him coming. He couldn't even see. I'm like, here they come, and like the video, I'll have to show it to you. They walk around this pond that's cattails. So here comes one. He says 1, it's 2, and I could see him coming behind that, and then I could hear Josh counting 3, 4, and they're just on their way.
To the call.
And because that's a spot where they breed, I think they're golden retrievers.
Yeah, they got dogs there, yeah.
And they have a ton of pressure from them. And that's why we're there. Because they're fucking with them.
Yeah.
So nothing phase these things. They just,
Yeah,
come right in.
Call
So
was
the
off
counting thing, we've tried it, okay? The best way it's either put up or shut up, okay? So if he's calling and he woofs them and he's going to woof, we decide when we get there. If we see a double tonight, who's woofing? Doesn't matter what fucking happens. I don't care about anything, if it's me or him or whatever. Whoever does the woof, you better be ready because
Yeah.
it's going to happen. Like within a millisecond. Like so.
As soon as they check up,
Right.
Yeah. Hit him.
done.
Right. So that's what happened. 4 of them come in. He's trying to woof with his diaphragm, and it's like, and it's like coming out funny and stuff. So and they didn't care.
No, they didn't.
They just kept coming. So I real loud woof with my mouth, and they stopped, and it was perfect. We'll have to show you the video.
Isn't that like the best feeling ever when you just give
It
the
was
woof
so
and they just-
perfect.
they
Oh,
It
just
was like
stop?
woof, bang, both
Yep.
shots, and both dogs went blip, just like that. It was
Yeah, it
so.
couldn't be any better.
And the guy was inside his house looking out the window. He was fucking dancing.
Oh, I'm sure.
He was like,
Yeah, we talked to him afterwards. He's like, I just get the dog settled down. You guys start shooting.
yeah. So we shoot. They both drop. They scatter, right? So one checks up,
On
like
the-
way out on the other side of the pond, and I'm like, well, fucking Hail Mary for old Grace. You know what I mean? I'm like, so I poke. I missed it. I don't even know how far it was. I never even. I
It
didn't have time.
wasn't that far. It's
And-
probably like 150.
I missed it.
And I was just getting my crosshair on it when he pulled the trigger. I was like, well, that
There
one's
goes
gone.
that.
So
Yeah.
then we shoot that time. I shoot, and then his starts twitching. Well, So I put another one in his. So you're talking 4 shots. Real close together, and he was super super happy.
Oh,
that was
no,
a good
yeah.
fucking night.
That was awesome.
So did
That
you
was
guys
the
kill
night
2
Pierre
or 4?
had him. Huh?
Did you kill 2 or 4?
We
then?
killed 2.
2.
And there's 4 there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry killed
But
the
it
other
was
two?
like consecutive, like woof, bang.
Mhm.
It was perfect.
Yeah, we
It was-
we have a talk before we go out. Like if you're on the left, you get the left dog. You're
Yeah,
on the right.
that's the
and
way
then
it
this-
is.
When we have church, like we had some church today. You guys were talking about in my house. It's we practice, so it's 3, 2, 1, and then bang. So everybody's on the same page. There's usually 2 or 3 of us that go together, and we have it timed pretty good. It's they both go off at the same time. It sounds like one gunshot,
Yeah.
but we practice it. We don't just wing it most of the time. So
I was like that one we shot at 311 last year. It come into, I don't know, probably 200 yards. Forgot to load my gun. And it was windy. It was real windy that night, and I think the wind just pushed the bullet past its neck.
actually, it was like facing us.
Yeah.
Checked up facing us.
So
That's a tough
he had
shot anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's even, now you're even smaller.
You're right.
You know what
and
I mean?
and he had shot, and like I said, I think the wind just pushed the bullet around or something. Because didn't you end up hitting in the neck afterwards? And it was you ended up being high right a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. And then
It ran up to 311, and it stopped. And we didn't do a count or anything. He just said send it, and same thing, simultaneous. Sounded like one shot.
then
We
there's
had-
3 holes.
Yeah.
We didn't save that one.
That's just something that, like, we practice it. You guys practice it. There's a lot of similarities here. So we do the wolf. You could do the count. Whatever you're going to do, you got to practice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just get out of the truck one night and be like, hey, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna hoot at it, and then when I hoot at it and it stops, just go ahead and shoot. Like,
Yeah.
Well, and I don't like there's too many variables in the count. So if you're going to count, you're going to start at 3. So you're 3, 2, 1. Well, I'm deaf as a post. Okay? So we wear comms. So now you're trying to run the radio because
Yep.
we spread out and count and shoot and keep track of everything you got going on. The universal fucking kill 'em sign is just woof.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
very simple. It's not 3 words. It's 1 word.
yeah,
If you hear the wolf and you ain't there, well,
somebody is.
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we do that's the other thing. I'm glad you brought that up because it's a safety thing. The left, right, center thing.
Yeah,
Huge.
big time.
Big time at night with guns, shooting in the dark. You don't want to hurt nobody. We do the same thing. If there's 3 of us, it's left, right, center. Center guys usually clean up. And it don't matter because you know how coyotes come in the zigzag.
Yeah,
The dog on the left is the dog on the left. I don't care if that was the right dog.
right.
When they showed up.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
because it doesn't matter.
Whichever one ends up on the left is the one the
You
guy on the left
stay
shoots.
in your vector. That's
what
where
we
you
did
want to be.
Right out here on the other side of the field here. It was New Year's Eve, just after midnight. So New Year's Day, 2 of them coming in. I was on the left. Carl was in the middle. Rusty's on the right. It's like, all right, I got the left one. And it was Gimpy. And he comes in, and I'm watching him, and she
He had a
crosses.
bullet hole in his foot.
Mm,
And his girlfriend crosses, like, well, now that one's mine.
right.
And I'm radioing to him. I was like, all right, dude, check these things up. He woofs. I was watching her. He was way off still to the right. I hit her. I don't know what Rusty did,
Yeah, you think he missed that night.
but dropped her. He took off.
One of the
we-
things that we
It's
like
the same
doing.
thing. Like, and we've had it multiple times where they come in, a group of them, 2, 3 of them, and they just cross each other
Yeah.
constantly
all the time.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm on the left. The left
Right.
one's mine.
And one of the things that we like to do all the time, and he's usually really good at making a point of doing it, is defining the 12 o'clock.
Sure.
So you look off in the distance, say there's a tower out there, or there's a tree out there, or
Or
there's
the call.
something you
Like,
can see.
The calls are 12 o'clock.
That is going to be 12 o'clock. So, like you said
Yeah.
before, you guys have had coyotes coming in where you're like, they're right there. Where?
yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah,
They're
we-
right there.
We
And you look
the-
at your buddy, and your buddy's looking this way, and you're looking over there.
Yeah, we
so,
do
like,
the-
look at 1 o'clock. Okay,
Right.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
we do
to me.
we do
We
the
do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because
10 o'clock.
And anybody who's gone from day hunting, I watched a podcast. I listened to one with Rick and what's his name? Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. He don't listen to us, but whatever. And they were talking about because when they legalized it down there, they went out and bought shit, and and they were going to go do it, And Rick's like, they're telling me there's coyotes out there. I'm like, out there where? And like we were trying to talk and count, and we couldn't hear each other. And I literally texted him. I was like, listen, Rick, here's the link to our comms. If you guys are going to do this, this is what you need, and you got to do it off a clock. It's got to be 12 o'clock. It's your dead in front of you, and go on from there. And then because during the day hunters, you're spoiled. You shoot with both. Like I shoot with both eyes open.
Yeah.
Day or night. I never close an eye. So during the day, you can. That's from deer hunting. So you can follow your target with your other eye while it's all happening, while
Right.
all the things are happening. At night, you can't do that shit.
No.
You got nothing over here. It's just black. So maybe I need a helmet mount, right?
That's on you.
That's why we, as we started listening to you guys, I'm like, man, these guys do the same stuff we do. Because you're like, oh, you got the comms, we had the comms. Like, these guys are smart. They're just like us, you know? But
Yeah.
you guys kill a couple more dogs than us down here.
Well,
definitely.
and we said a couple of times tonight about misses. We've gotten 100 times better. We did not have that many misses last year, but that is only because we practice a shit ton from your setup. Like, you can bench shoot all you want. That's great. Shoot from your
I
tripod.
say shoot from the tripod.
Put your clothes on. Shoot with your hunting round.
Go out when it's 10 degrees out and shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go out
Take
there and
your-
freeze for a half an hour, then shoot.
Then shoot. You got to do all the things.
Yeah.
So when it happens, when the glory moment comes, and you get a quad coming in or something, you're ready. You're ready
Yeah,
to go.
we were shooting last year at the very end of the season. Wind coming in sideways, it's snowing, and we're shooting 300 yards
Yeah.
off a tripod in the middle of a field.
Right.
Like, just to practice.
Right, and you have to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
super important.
We're very fortunate, too. We have the range. My grandfather left me a farm, and I have a range set up all the way out to 650. We have steel the whole way. Every 100 yards, we have boards set up so you can actually see your exact bullet drop, so it's calculated. We got some good chronographs and stuff, so we can figure out our bullet drop perfectly. So we put the practice in so that we don't have too many misses, but it still happens.
Yeah, it
Right.
happens.
That's the only thing we don't have yet is a chronograph, but that is going to happen.
Go with the Garmin. If you guys split it, since you guys are always together, just split it. But Nick's seen it firsthand. It's
fantastic.
unbelievable. Yeah, bows. I use it for my bow. Use it for pistols. Use it for the muzzle loader. Everything, and it just doesn't miss.
And it's not a shoot
great.
through. You know, it's a radar operated deal,
Yeah.
so there's no trap to shoot through or any of that. So
Yeah, I'd hit that fucker. I'm not that bad.
just under 100.
Yeah, just under. I have one so close, with a 223. What's it do? It goes like this, right?
Yep.
So when they're under 50, you got to aim low.
Yeah, aim at their knees.
Yeah, and I forget that sometimes, and I had to learn the hard way. One of them was on a really dark dog, and I don't want to say it was black, but it was dark. Like, I'm using night vision, I can tell contrast.
Oh yeah.
And it was dark, and I was fucking mad when I missed it.
Do you zero at 100, or do you like an inch high at 100, or how do you do yours?
Oh, this talk. I zero at 50.
Okay.
Oh,
I am 0.8 high at 50.
so you should be pretty much dead nuts at 300.
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and this argument comes up all the I don't care what caliber it is, and I will say this, you can zero any caliber, especially you thermal guys, because I've looked through those fuckers during the day when you're trying to zero them in. Like with the heat packs and the tape and the ice packs, and we built the targets with the ice pack, so it's behind it, so it's a cold center, and you can see the difference.
Right.
We did all that. You can zero any caliber you have at 50 yards, as long as you know your ballistics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
if it's an 06 and at 50 yards, I think it's fucking 6 inches high. That's where you need to shoot at the zero and hit 6 inches high. That's it. That's
Yep.
all there is. And I will have people argue with me. And the military zeros at 25 yards. And then they shoot what?
300.
With people who've never really fired weapons before.
A lot of
them.
them,
Yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Right, and it works for them. So I zero everything at 50. Everything. I don't care what caliber it is. Rusty turned me on to it. And same thing, we started looking at ballistics because he reloads and pulling tape measures on targets. And it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the guys that say, well, my box says 0 at 200. And they shoot through 4 boxes of bullets to get on the paper even close
Yeah.
at 200.
You see that a lot.
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where this thinking comes in for
Yeah.
me. 243 I think I did it with Cousin Chips. I think it's 4 something. I think it's 4 inches high at 50. And we did it here, and I will literally take a 223, zero it at 50, well, say a half an inch high at 50. I will shoot the 50 target, get it there, and I will go right to my plates, 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
and hit every time. And it's just, and then you get these guys. Oh, you got different wind drift out that far, and all this. Well, that's gonna happen with any fucking bullet.
Yeah.
And even if you zero at 200, your wind drift today might be out of the east. The night you go shoot a coyote might be out of the north.
Yeah.
So what the fuck does that even matter? So now you're compensating for wind drift that's not there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So to me, I zero at 50.
And that's one of the cooler things about his range too. Is I don't know what it is about over there, but that whole area is a wind tunnel. Like you just can't go over there and it's not windy.
Right.
It's always windy there. So like today we were shooting out to what 600 or 650 today.
650.
650 today, and you know you shoot one round and the wind's blowing from right to left, and the next time the wind's blowing in your face. And
Do you have a lot of shots at that range?
No. We just do. It's
It's
just
good to know.
Just
I'm
like
not saying
anything
it's-
else.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
right.
actually working on some ammo for a 22 Creed build, and I just was trying to see what the holdover was, how far I could hold, and it's crazy. It's like 11 MOA, so I can hold the top of a full size IPSC target, and it was hitting them down by like the waistline. So I was just checking that out, but we were shooting, and you could see the wind would, like he was saying, the wind was blowing, and even that little, it's a 53 grain bullet going 4,000 feet per second. All I have to do is hold left edge of that plate, and it was smacking it right in the middle after I got my elevation down. And he was shooting it with the 204, and I had a 223 there we were just playing with. And it's just good to practice and see
Yeah,
where it's
because
at.
in situational, like you get out, you're coyote hunting, you got a crosswind.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
You know right where you need to hold on him, way out there with that kind of cross.
right,
And you should be, because a coyote is small.
very.
Like, when people tell me, and I hate to even do this because the deer hunters are going to fucking crucify me, but when somebody's deer hunting and they shoot at a deer at 200 yards with a well, I don't care, 270, and they're like, oh, I made a bad shot. The size of a deer's organ cavity is the size of a fucking coyote.
Yeah, it's big.
It's big. All right, you have a ton of room
Yep.
to. Now you start saying, well, I shot a little back, maybe 2 inches back. On a deer, that don't make a fucking difference.
Yeah, you're still shooting them in the liver or the lungs or
Right.
You're
You're
hitting
gonna
vital.
Right. You do so in comparison, so if you shoot 3 inches back on a coyote,
you're in
that's-
guts.
right, you're not there no more, man.
Nope.
And that thing will run. And that's a whole nother thing with like tracking dogs for deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
How popular they've gotten.
Yeah, very.
We never had that shit. You were crawling in the bushes looking for blood.
Yeah,
Or, you know what I mean? And like back then, like when we were kids, you shot 200 yards, you thought you were doing something. And like now we shoot 300 and 400 out here, and it's like, I mean, so when
it's
you
like a
start,
chip shot.
right? No, you talk about a coyote 150 yards. That's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
I'll look away when I pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Like that's not even that bad, but that's like now, you know, because we've done all that. The distance, my range is right out here.
Okay.
So the table's right on the other side of the gates there, and we have to 400 here. And we just, you know, me and Cousin Chip put that together one day. I'm like, how far do we really have here? And I started ranging it. I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is perfect. So now we have steel, same thing. So we have paper to 50. Of course, I'm pretty much the only one that uses the 50 one. And then steel all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. It's just repetition and how you're standing. Like, well, you guys are bow hunters. Anchor points are huge. Right? I don't want to say it's the same with a rifle, but it is. How you position yourself behind your rifle, you know, shooting from a bench versus shooting from a tripod, your body is in a whole different position.
Yeah.
So it's going to change how you're sitting and looking through that thing huge. You know, so shoot from your tripod is what I'm getting at.
Yep.
Long way to get there.
50 yard zeros for life.
And shooting 400 yards. I mean, do you guys shoot 400 yards at coyotes often?
No.
No, but if you shoot 400 yards regularly, you're pretty confident at shooting 400 yards.
Yeah.
So when you
we
get
ha-
those 300-yard shots or 200-yard shots,
Yeah.
it's just very same thing as shooting a bow. When you practice out to 100 with a bow and you're going to shoot maybe 45 yards in the woods,
Yeah.
You mean you look at that 45-yard shot and you go, this is nothing.
Right. You know you can hit that 100, that 45's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. Nothing.
We didn't even, like, back in the day, we practiced, but my old range was at the farm. You barely had 100 yards there.
Yeah.
And I thought I was doing something. And, like, now, with these, you know, out to 300 and 400, it's, like, we had a church session, I don't know, it was a couple of months ago, before the grass really come up. Cousin Chip come over with his handguns. We were playing with those. And I come in, I got my rifle, and he's like, what are you doing with that? I was like, before I pick the targets up, I just got to see if I'm good to go. Like, I haven't touched this thing since March. So I sit down, and he was like, well, I'm going to video this. And I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm under pressure. And I did it from the bench, off the bag, and I can ring them. It's like my fucking job. Just boom, boop, boop. But we do it all the time.
Yeah.
You know? And the preparation, because the targets we're after at night, and depth perception, and just circumstances, rolls in the field. You know, you get a coyote, you see it coming, there's a roll that you don't know about or didn't notice. It drops down in it, and then you lose it. Now you're frantically looking, right? And then what's it do? It pops up, and all you get is like the head and a little bit of the chest. You got to be ready to do something. Now, if you're hand calling, they're looking at you. So, and then if you're still hand calling because you can't see them and don't think, hey, I should turn my e-collar on and put this thing down, you're even under more pressure.
Yeah, definitely.
So, to do what you need to do. So, that's my bit. I'm sorry, I get on a topic and it just flows.
It's fine.
It's good info.
Absolutely.
I always wondered, do you shoot 50 yard zeros?
No, well, my deer rifle, I hunt primarily in the Adirondack, so it's driven hunts. You might be able to shoot maybe 100 yards if you're lucky. What is your deer rifle? It's actually a Remington 750 carbine in 308 with a red dot on it. It's got a Hollow Sun 503 red dot on it. Like I said, it's all driven hunts where I'm at, so
well, you don't need a scope.
They're all running,
right?
So, and I have a hard time with iron sights.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm good with like certain ones, but I'm real particular
with them.
No, I'm with you.
I think it's a great idea.
But I've had pretty good luck with it. I like that gun a lot.
God, I would love to see that.
It's comfortable.
That's straight out of Call of Duty, by the way.
Yeah, I love it, man. I have no complaints
because
about it.
He's right. I mean, you get like BB Hill. I meant that we didn't ever get there, but there's some state land out by the Mass border. It's 4,000 acres, and it's the same thing. It's like the Adirondacks up there.
It's thick. It's the ground's not smooth.
No.
It's rough.
I
There's
went up there
pockets
with
and
my
everything.
long ass 06 with a 50 millimeter objective.
Yeah, and you're dragging it through the brush all day long.
Right, and I'm like, I need
short, light, something.
Right.
444. Yeah.
You know, that's what,
even like a carbine 7400, something like that, something short.
Yep. Lever action with a fucking red dot on it, because you get dogging down in the woods there, and they're close to you.
Yeah, you step on them.
Right. 50, 60 yards, and they're running away, and now you're trying to look through a scope, find them. That's why I shoot with both eyes open, which, you know, it doesn't matter. Down there, it's just different.
Right.
It's just a different kind of hunting. That's awesome. I would love to see that.
Shoots really well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How far out can you shoot with it with a red dot?
I've shot out to 200 and hit 4 out of 5 with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I don't know if the 5th one was me or if it was the gun. But, I mean, it's, knock on wood, every year I shoot that thing, I shoot one round on paper before deer season starts, and I shoot at a 2-inch bullseye because it's a 2 MOA dot, and there's usually one in the bullseye with one shot, and that's good for me.
Yeah, that's all. My deer rifle's
all hand loads, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I love that gun. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
What's your deer rifle?
Which one?
Oh, you got a couple. Good. I like the way you think.
I'm gonna get the hate mail's gonna be coming in, but I'm the man bun in 6'5" Creedmoor kind of guy.
Oh no!
Yep. I'll put my hair up for you guys right now if you want.
So what everybody says it's like the pretty boy cartridge.
Yeah. I have a 6.5 Creedmoor. I don't.
I honestly, and I also I'm gonna throw myself under the bus again too, but I use.
You can't get any worse than a 6.5 Creedmoor.
I use the match bullets, which everybody says don't use, the 140 LDMs.
Yeah.
But dude, they just go in and they explode, and where they explode is all the vitals, and the deer just die there. I've shot 10. We have a lot of does around my place, so I've shot 10 deer, and I've had all but 2 pile up right there and not take a step.
Right.
And the 2 that ran 100 yards and died. Like, I watched them go down in the thing. So I love that. Even my wife, she hunts. I have a 6 Creed for her, and I use those 108 ELDMs. Same thing. Like, they just go in, they explode, and the deer just die there. We don't have to chase them. So that's why I use it.
No tracking dogs?
No tracking dogs.
I love those posts.
But, yeah.
Dude, you hit it in the back leg. That's why that thing ran like that. There's no way. And even with the way bullets are now and the rounds these guys are using, they should not go anywhere.
Well, the problem is I get in this talk with a lot of people because I do the reloading, we do the long range class, and people are always talking about, shooting stuff. And the big issue with the 6.5 Creedmoor is there's no blood trail. Well, what kind of bullets are you using? I'm using those ballistic tips because I want them to go in and explode and destroy the lungs and have it pile up there. If I wanted a blood trail, I would use a copper solid,
sure.
or I'd use a lead tip bullet.
Yeah.
That's going to go in. It's going to blow a big hole out the other side,
right.
And now I have lots of blood to do. But I don't like dragging, and I don't like tracking. So I don't want a blood trail because I want them to die right there.
So that brings up a whole nother thing. In the years that I've seen these tracking dogs and all this shit come about, how many people have switched over to a polymer tip bullet, not thinking like that.
Yep.
That without a lead tip bullet or copper, it's not going to.
It's not
Your
gonna-
grandfather's British 303
with a soft point.
with a lead tip bullet will make a hole big enough to drive a tractor in on the backside.
Yep.
So you're going to have tons of blood trail. These things go in, they expand, they fragment, they jelly everything inside. That's why we don't have blood with coyotes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we have blood.
I did that night. I winged that one.
Right. We never did find that dog.
No.
But, it was gallons of blood. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah. He's dead somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
there's...
Yeah.
Like, we were out there that was one night we were out till like 3 in the morning because he was dogging this thing down through a thicket. And I walked back to the truck.
I remember this story.
Right. I shot my dog, picked my dog up, dragged back to the tripods, go back, get the truck, drive the truck out, unload, the guns were unloaded, but take everything down, put it in the cases, put it in the truck, load my coyote, call him on the radio. Yeah, I'm still going. I'm like, shine your flashlight up in the air. And he's in this thicket down through this ravine, and I could see where he was. And I drove around him through the other fields and got in front of him. And then, like you've heard it, I get out and I howl so you could find me to get to me because he's in shit so thick he can't see. And a fucking dog shows up behind me. Then I'm trying to set up. He's talking to me on the radio. I'm not even paying attention. I'm pulling tripods out, opening my gun case, getting my gun out. There's a dog coming up the field. I'm howling at him, and a dog is coming up the field. And then it disappeared. And he's like, "You're not answering me." I'm like, "There's a fucking dog out here. Hang on."
Yeah, relax.
Yeah, and shout out to the tracking dog guys, too. Not that we're ragging on you guys. You guys do an awesome job.
Yeah.
And it's all your own gas. A lot of times the people don't tip them well, and then when they do, they still complain about the job they did. I know a guy that I'm friends with that posts that he has a terrible time. He doesn't even want to do it for people anymore because they treat him like garbage. And
Well, that's bullshit. You
give
made
them a
a
hard
shit
time.
shot.
Yeah, and you called me
Can't
for
find
help.
your deer. You called me for help. Don't be a
Yeah.
dick.
I was
I'll show
just
you guys the
something that
post
I've
later.
never, it's funny how like technology has changed everything. Growing up hunting on the farm, you looked, you know?
Had to.
You did circles, right?
What were you?
Grid
What else
search.
were you gonna do?
Right.
We're gonna
And,
call
like,
anybody.
I just feel like now everybody's like, well, I'm just going to jump on Facebook. And I'm not dogging the tracking dog guys, but like I need a tracking dog. Like, no, dude, go out. Where's your last pool of blood? Start doing circles.
yeah,
from
hang a
there.
ribbon in the tree.
Yep. Do like we used to do. Yep. Hang a piece of whatever.
Put your orange hat in the tree or something.
Something. We'd put something there and we'd start doing circles all the way out.
pro tip, too, a walking advertisement for the, was it Onyx or whatever? They have a tracking mode, so you can click the tracking mode and you can see exactly where you walked everywhere on the property. So if you're doing a grid search, you can see exactly where you searched. So you have it like on your map on your phone. So
Oh, there you go.
So we don't use Onyx. We use HuntWise.
Hunt
I have
wise.
that too. Yep, that's a good one.
I don't know. We just used HuntWise. I don't.
Yeah.
HuntWise is nice because it gives you phone numbers to people. Like, we got
Yeah.
a farm. Actually, we killed a dog on the first night we were there last year.
Yep.
And I just happened to look it up. I'm like, I wonder what this guy is. I called him. He's like, hell yeah, come and shoot him. And that night we got one. And I called him and let him know the next morning. He goes, oh, you guys come back whenever you want.
That was one at 311, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, HuntWise is nice, too. Shout out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we got to pay for it too. That's the only thing I hate, but I'm cheap. But it's good to have the access to the phone numbers, to just even addresses.
Yeah, big time.
Huge.
Definitely helps.
But before that, you didn't have that either. You had to go knock on doors and ask.
That was in a time, too, where you could knock on a door.
Yeah.
These days, you knock on a door, and 7 out of 10 times you're liable to get the door slammed in your face, you know?
Yeah, no, we've been denied before.
Yeah, I've been denied most times that I've ever stopped and knocked on a door.
Yeah.
More than that. I've been either no, we're okay, or no.
I tell him no all the time, but he keeps coming back.
Yeah, it's weird. Here I am.
You ready to go? I told you.
I followed
no.
him all the way here.
Right. I told you no. And you're in my yard.
Hey man, you want to shoot?
Yeah. We've been told no lots of times too, and that's a whole nother thing. Oh well, we deer hunt. I'm like, well, so do we.
Yeah, that's it. That's one of the big ones I always get is, well, no, we deer hunt, and
Come
we don't
after
want
deer season.
Yeah, we don't want you to mess up the the deer hunting for us, and I don't know what your guys' opinion is on it, but I've been to a lot of spots that people deer hunt before the season even starts for deer, and I've killed 2 or 3 coyotes, and they don't even know I've been there.
Yeah,
Right.
it don't affect
You know?
them any. They don't
We
care.
hunt lots of places. Same, our own farm here. We'll go out and hunt the night before deer season.
And then go
And-
shoot a buck the next day.
No
Yeah,
problem.
It does not.
You're not in their bedding area.
No, and
doesn't
it's
bother
that's what I
the
try
deer.
telling people too, is it's what we do, or really all of us are doing, is really not invasive whatsoever.
Right.
Like what harm is it that we walked, maybe 150 yards across the wide open field and sat there and made some noises for a half hour?
And again, you're playing the wind.
Yeah, and you're playing the sounds that are natural to.
Right.
They hear it.
environment.
They hear it every day.
Yeah.
But you're playing the wind, so we're not going to go out there smelling like, a barber shop
Right, and
with
put
the wind
myself
blowing
somewhere.
into a bedding area.
Yep.
Not
No,
going to
stay-
happen.
No, stay away from it.
Right.
This isn't the deer hunting podcast, but a lot of you guys, if you listen to this, you already know this, but if you can hunt a piece of property and deer can see you, if you stay out of their bedding area and stay out of the woods and don't send it up, the deer are going to hang around. They're
Right,
not
they
going
don't.
to. They're not going far.
Yeah, unless they have a valid
We always
reason to
get
go,
on
they're
these
not
tangents.
Yeah.
That's fine.
If you go traipsing through their bedding area and through all the woods, then deer are going to leave and they're going to smell you and they're not going to want to come back for a while.
Right.
Well, we had one I shot, I think it was 2 years ago. We knew it was there because the deer started to scatter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we couldn't see it. All of a sudden, the deer are running all different directions.
Yeah,
Like,
you
what-
read the body language of the
Well,
animals.
What the hell? And then here comes this coyote. She comes right up middle of the field. The deer scattered, and then they came right back to where they were feeding.
Yeah.
This thing came in 200 yards. I dumped it. Deer was still there.
Walked out and get it. Deer
Walked
still
out,
there.
Yeah.
Grabbed the coyote, dragged it back to the truck, and they never moved.
Yep.
Yeah.
They never.
They only
First-
moved because she came running right through the middle of them.
Yeah, they just want to get out of her way.
Right. And they came right back to what they were doing.
The last dog I shot here was the 27th of March. And same thing. I got home. We had been out. I parked the truck, and I was turning my scanner off. And I pull my scanner out. I look out in the field, and I'm going to power it down, and I see the deer doing zigzags. I'm like, wow, something's out there. So grabbed my stuff, took my hand calls, started walking across. They're still evading whatever is out there. I don't see it yet. I end up finally getting up to it and seeing it. And this coyote, a female, she's sitting there. She was running them around in circles, around. Them deer were just circling around her, trying to get away from her. And in the video, you could see the deer, and I shoot the dog. The dog lays down, and the deer stand there. And then they just kind of meander a little bit and just move off. And then I went out and got it, and it's just, I think people don't know because they've never done it.
I agree. Yeah,
Yep.
They
it's one
think
of those things
they're
that-
walking out to their deer blind in the morning. You see them, open in the morning what it's like. There's fucking tails everywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, they're flying everywhere. There's so much scent concentrated in the woods. That's what it is. Like, yeah, it just, you might be good wind for your field, but across the street, it's bad wind for that guy.
Yeah.
You know, and, well, all your scent's blowing across the street. So the deer are going to pick it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like shooting, too. People are like, oh, I'm not going to shoot on my property because I don't want to scare away deer. Well, I have a shooting range, a private one that we shoot a lot on, and the deer just walk across the field while we're out there shooting steel plates.
Same here.
They don't care.
They don't
you know?
care.
It's just
No.
like anything else.
Deer,
Don't
turkey.
go
Yeah.
out the night before
Right
and
across the
shoot.
range.
Yeah.
2 days
You
ago,
know?
I was on my way home. I drive by Jeremy's house every day on my way home, and I drive by his house and always beep, and his truck's not there. And go up to the next field, and that's where the range is, and there he is. So we swing in to help him sight some guns in, and turkey lands right in the shooting lane, just hanging out, shooting over its head, doesn't mind.
We had everybody here that day shooting, and the turkeys were out there.
Yeah, we're out there.
Ring
all-
and steel, they're
all-
standing
yeah,
next to it. Just
All
ping.
coyote rifles, shotguns going off. Here come turkeys just walking across the field.
They don't
Right.
care.
They don't mind.
You guys
Yeah.
see any poults yet?
No.
Just yesterday, I saw a fresh 13.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. They
Not
they
yet.
must have been
I-
just born.
I still seeing my group of Jakes. My Big Tom that did not get shot it did make it. So I got 2 of them. There was one here and then one at the farm. And the last time I saw the one at the farm today, and he looks great.
Were they blown up? Because I saw a couple today. They were all blown up, like they were strutting.
Yeah, they're still doing that. I don't know. It's weird. Like
Maybe it's like a second rut.
Yeah, right. Yeah, late rot.
It's like I got there one morning. I swear to God, I heard one shot gobble. Swear to God,
Yep.
it was way off, but I heard it. And Christ, now they already got nests.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're talking about
We were
babies.
worried because it's the rain, and the grass grew so fast. We were worried about if they were going to be a good crop of turkeys this year. And like I said, I saw one, and I'm pretty sure that hen that landed in the range today or yesterday, whatever it was, I'm pretty sure that one had a nest close by, but it wasn't with the little ones. But yeah, that's one thing. My buddy hunts turkeys pretty hard, and he was worried about them. So I was glad to see at least some of them are out. But I wonder
Even
if
the
that
geese
messed them
are
up.
late. So I get Canadian geese at the farm at the pond, and I haven't seen anything. I knew they had a nest, but I usually see them by now.
Oh, didn't you lose one of the geese?
Yeah, we lost one.
So-
One got picked off. Today I saw him, where she had 4 little ones with her.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they were little, and I'm like, man, it just seems late.
Yeah, it does.
Are we
Like,
gonna
I
be
mean,
able
they
to
were
call them American geese soon?
You never know.
right.
It might tax that.
Yeah. Oh God, here we go. We're gonna tax them for their fucking birds coming out.
Yeah, seriously.
Cleaning up all the shit.
Yeah.
Filthy things.
Can't think of anything else. I think we pretty much covered everything.
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've been through.
Any crazy stories that you could share?
Hmm.
The one at 311 was a good one. We shared that one. That was
That
probably one of our-
8-pack was cool. That whole farm is set up funky. You pull into the place and you're at the bottom of a hill. When you walk up to the top of the hill, you come up on it's like the right edge of the field. It's a longer field, but as soon as you get up to the top of it, there's another opening to fields down below you that are 500 yards wide by
Yeah, it's actually on a
1,000
target.
yards long.
I have a target there. It's 900 yards.
Yeah,
from the base
so-
of that hill to the other one.
And we had called that whole top field, and didn't hear anything until we were getting ready to leave, and it sounded to me almost like a Yorkie or something was barking. It did not sound anything to me like a coyote or anything like that. And
Real raspy nips.
high
fucking
pitched, real
Yorkie.
short. It sounded like
Yeah.
I said,
I think it
almost
was
like a Yorkie
first
barking.
yearling. Yeah, like a yearling
And
male or
I
something.
kept saying to him, like, you hear that? And he's like, yeah, I hear that. I'm like, that sounds like a domestic dog to me. He's like, yeah, me too.
Careful, thermal guys. Careful.
Yeah. So
It's a dog. Fuck it.
Like he said, we would walk back just about to the truck.
That is a serious fear of mine. So
Well,
And like
we
you were
are
saying,
very
Right.
we are very careful.
yeah, body language is a big one.
Yeah.
Like I said, that tail. Most dogs will keep your tail up, you
Yeah.
know, but coyotes will like to
Yeah,
hang
but
them
the
low.
guy that
and,
just went to and bought a thermal and has no idea. This is why we push this so much. That start with a light.
Mhm.
Buy a thermal scanner. Use a red light.
Yep.
I wish I had a thermal scanner and we had red lights. We probably would have shot a shit more dogs,
Oh yeah,
because just think about the stuff you didn't see.
right.
Well, that's what I said. That's why I'm glad you guys have thermal scanners, because without that, I know for a fact, like, people just miss dogs. That's why I love that everybody's into coyote hunting now. Like, everybody here wants to go coyote hunting. I absolutely love that. I think it's
I want to
great.
go right now.
Everybody,
Same.
let's go. No, I mean, I'm not dressed for it tonight, but no,
mean, it's
I just
kinda
think
warm.
that people, one, you need to know what you're doing. Two, go with somebody. Like, I would love to take people anytime they want to go. I say, here's my number, give me a call, I'll take you out, because I know, one, I'm going to sell you a thermoscope afterwards, but two,
Fucking God.
there's a lot to learn. Am I wrong, Nick? Am I wrong?
No,
All right.
absolutely not.
No, you
Yeah.
having a mentor.
It's huge. It's huge.
You're talking about firearms in the dark, houses, people,
Yep.
animals, domestic animals. Don't buy a thermal, and knowing what you're doing is super important.
Yeah.
We've taken lots of people.
Unpopular opinion too. I'm gonna have people probably lots of hate mail on this one too.
We don't
After the
get any
6'5"
mail, so you're
Creek
fine.
war. Okay, good. I think, like, I'm also a hunter's ed instructor, and I asked the DEC lady. I said, "Is there any? You guys gonna put anything in about like learning thermal, because thermal's huge now, thermal and night vision."
It's
and
getting more affordable too.
going over. Yeah, it's wicked affordable. I mean, you can get an okay
Sure.
thermal scope for $1,500.
That's actually a
now.
good idea.
Well, the
It's-
I mean, you can buy a refurbed ATN 256 unit for $700.
No, you can't. Shut up, Nick. No one do that.
You don't
Yeah,
want
no,
it.
don't do
Friends
that.
don't let
Absolutely not.
friends
Do not
buy
do that,
ATN.
but you can.
the DNT, was it the
Yes.
Thermite? I think it's
Oh,
only
yeah.
like $1,200.
Yeah, those
and you
are
get
awesome.
both. You
Yeah,
get
that's-
IR
that's
and
wild.
thermal.
Yep. That's definitely a way to go if you're getting into it.
And it's a nice, clear picture.
Well, then that way you can learn.
Yeah.
You gotta learn it.
Yeah, and I agree.
But
To
I
you
agree.
guys.
I think that's a great idea. That they
It should be part of the curriculum, I mean, at least a little bit to touch on.
If you have night hunting in your state, wow, that is a really good point. They should have that in this hunter safety course.
yeah, there should be a small chapter.
Right.
Right.
Hey, just
You
Even
could
if
show
they just say,
video
like,
clips. This is what a coyote looks like
Exactly.
in night vision. This is what a coyote acts like in thermal.
Right.
Look for the tail. Look for the eyes. Look for body language. Anything.
Yeah, watch the back. Make sure
Yeah.
it's, like you said, that loping motion of a
Yeah.
coyote or...
and just touching on, like, you are responsible, because, I mean, they say this too, but it isn't a real thing until you're out there doing it. You're responsible for every round that leaves your barrel. So you need to know your shot and what's beyond it. And in the night, it's way worse than doing it in the daytime, because a lot of times you can't see what's behind it. So I just think that is something that should be covered just briefly. Like you said, they don't have to change the whole book about it, but it should cover it. And like you said, some of the rules around it, like you can't have a weapon loaded in your truck. You can't lead it up against your truck. You can shoot off tripods. You have to have permission with permission cards. All that stuff is very important.
Good points.
That
Very
would
good
help.
points.
And then if you do get pulled over, like a cop, you're walking back to the truck and there's a cop stops you or whatever. What are you guys doing? Oh, I have my permission card right here. I'm hunting.
Right. Here's my license.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
and-
just
Yeah, we've been lit up. You guys been spotlighted before?
No, I haven't.
no.
I always
haven't either.
It's like a
I got
fucking
one from
prison
him,
break.
but we always run those. Well, I do anyways. I run a big
Yeah, we
old
made out
magnet on the
magnets.
tailgate.
Yeah.
That says coyote hunting or
We-
predator hunting with landowner permission. That way,
Right.
if anybody drives by and just sees a truck parked there, they don't go, "Huh, what are they doing there?" And then they call the cops anyways. Hey, there's this truck parked over here. They see, oh, it must be somebody coyote hunting with permission.
Yep.
Yeah, that's on the list for this year. Steve has one, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah,
Next time I see you guys, I'll bring one. Because I have two, but I usually put one on the tailgate.
Yeah, right.
So I'll bring you one.
yeah, definitely
We'll have
helpful.
to have a church session.
Definitely.
like church.
Yeah. We get together and rejoice.
Yeah. Or we get together and shoot some steel.
Yeah. That is rejoicing.
It is.
Carl holds a sermon.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Thank you, dear God, for the 223. It's the best caliber ever made.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
I do like 223.
God bless Hornady.
Nothing wrong with it. There's really not. It's just, I feel like the 223 is a lot like the 6.5 Creedmoor as far as.
No.
It's, well,
No way,
wait,
bro.
wait,
Keep
no,
going,
wait a
Nick.
minute.
Let's
Wait
Don't put me
no,
in a,
no.
Don't even put a man bun on me.
Let me tie the bow on her first. I feel like it's similar.
You're in my
a
house,
way.
Nick. You know
I'm
that?
sorry. All right, I'll leave. I gotta go. See you guys later. No, I just think everybody knows 223.
Yep.
It's an incredibly popular caliber. You guys are proof of it. It's plenty capable of killing a coyote.
Oh, absolutely.
But I feel like it's the same thing with the 6.5 Creed because I hear a lot of mixed stuff on 6.5 Creed. I hear people say, I love it, don't have any issues with it. And then I hear people say, it doesn't leave a blood trail, they run, blah, 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 blah. I just feel like that has to do with the fact that 223 and 6.5 Creedmoor, well, 6.5 today is more or less, in my opinion, because it's been marketed so much.
Yeah,
it's been put
100%.
out there everywhere.
It's actually an old round.
It is, and everybody can buy one now because you can go buy a $350, $400 Savage Access and shoot 6.5 Creedmoor because it's the best thing.
Gotta have 6.5.
It's the best thing on paper, right? Everybody's got it.
Right.
Same
So
kind
far, I
of.
agree with everything you guys are saying.
Right.
Keep going.
Same thing with like 223. It's so popular, everybody has it. Shot placement.
Yes.
You put it in the right spot, they're gonna die.
You can do it with 17.
But
Lots of guys shoot.
like 6.5, I think, just got a bad rap to a point just because it flooded the market. Everybody got it, everybody shot it, and then you got all the hacks.
What
that
are
are
you
out
doing
there.
today? I'm going to buy me a 6.5
Yep,
Creedmoor.
exactly.
After I tie my hair up.
Yep, and all the hacks started shooting it, and well, I mean, it's super popular. It is a great cartridge.
It is. I'm
It's
not
fantastic.
knocking it.
No, it's not. There's nothing wrong with the cartridge. I just think there's a lot of people have bought it and have shot it and aren't necessarily great marksmen
Right.
and made some bad shots, and it started to develop a bad rap to it,
243.
like a man.
Oh, we're pulling no stops tonight.
What the fuck did I do to you?
Nothing. I just love it's part of my thing.
Yeah, no,
So-
they're both plenty capable. They're both
so,
great cartridges.
That took you a long time to get there, Nick. But good
The
job.
marks,
It happens.
the marksman makes
was a
the
Carl
rifle.
rant.
The rifle doesn't make the marksman. You have to know how to shoot, no matter what the caliber is. You got to put the time in to learn how to shoot the gun.
Absolutely.
You can't just go, oh well, 243, that'll drop a coyote. But can you shoot?
Yeah, well, so will a 223.
Right.
People
You just gotta hit 'em in the right
ask.
spot.
Yeah, that's the other post we see on the Predator pages. What's your go-to? And then I'm there for the comments.
Yeah.
First, I put mine in.
Then you eat popcorn.
223, best cartridge ever made. And then I start reading, and it's your normals. 243,
22
6.5,
250.
22 250, great round. And 223, it's just what I started with, and it's what I got comfortable with.
Yeah.
Do I have a 243? Yes. Is it set up yet? No. Is
Do
it
you
going
tell
to be?
anybody? No.
Well, I just told everybody. I built one, and it's going to happen. I don't know.
It's a great cartridge. I think everybody should start with one because it makes you aim. It makes you take your time and aim. It's not,
Right.
oh, I see a coyote, squeeze the trigger. You have to take the time to actually look at it, pick a spot on the dog, squeeze nice and slow, and make a good shot. Or if
Yeah.
you don't, they're going to run.
Right.
You know.
I mean, I've even hit a fox high with a 6.5 and had to shoot it again.
Right.
I mean, it's like you're saying,
talking now.
it's all
Stop
shot.
talking, Nick.
It's all shot placement.
Stop talking.
6. I don't care what cartridge it is. I've shot foxes that, made bad shots on them. They run off, and we got to go after them.
Yep.
Multiple times. A fox is a tough little critter, man.
They are.
You make holes in them things because their bodies even smaller.
Yeah,
so
250, 257 Weatherby Mag did a hell of a number on that little gray.
yeah, Josh's buddy. Oh my God, that was like a fucking howitzer going off. But
We got a buddy that shoots the same one.
it didn't go anywhere.
No, hell no, it didn't go nowhere.
What was left of it stayed put.
Oh yeah, they usually don't go very far when you hit them with a 257.
That was our first gray.
Yeah, that was the first gray. That was here.
That was loud. I got it. Bo woof, and I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, there goes $12.
Right.
Yeah, they're not a cheap round either. No, we were lined up left to right. He was on the far right. Fox came in on the left. I was on the left. For whatever reason, I didn't know it at the time. My scope was fully zoomed in. I can't find it. I can't see it.
Those were red light days.
Yeah, red
Oh, were
light
they?
days. He takes a step out past all Carl and I and dumps this thing.
That was early.
That was early days.
early
but-
days.
Yeah, no. pinhole going in, about a
Yeah.
bowling ball.
So we
coming out
walk
the other
up to
side
it,
of
it's
that.
laying there, and I'm like, man, let me see a little tiny hole in it. And then we
Yeah.
flip it over. Holy shit. Not for friendly.
Well, it's like that one we shot last year at up there in Mayfield.
Yeah.
Thing come running across that maybe 50 yards, and we kind of got confused on the count there, and one of us was going to shoot, one of us wasn't, so we both shot at the same time, and that made a mess.
Yeah.
He goes, how's it look? They go, well, the heart's not inside of the body anymore.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
the comms. He's halfway across the field. I'm over there behind the gun, keeled over, laughing.
Right. That one is not getting tanned.
No.
You can
That's a
see on the
shoulder
video. I'll send it to you. You can see on the video the heart leaving the body.
Right.
Like
That's what I will say about the thermals is cool is the shit flying when you hit them.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the woodchuck yesterday? I posted. I'll
No.
show you the video. I posted it on my timeline. I got a woodchuck at 75 yards
With the thermal?
with the 53 grain VMAX. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a mess.
We don't get woodchucks. We got clay.
Yeah.
They fucking, jump on a train.
Fence
and hit-
rows. They don't go in fence rows. Like we have crazy. That's where they are. Is fence rows. We have clay too. But
No, I don't see. We get a couple here, not that many. I wish we did because it'd give us something to do.
Something to shoot at.
I would love to go woodchuck. We used to have a couple hay fields. We used to have. They were loaded,
Yeah.
and we were doing it just for the simple fact that it was destroying equipment.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fun, super fun,
Nothing wrong with shooting.
and it's good practice.
Yeah.
It's great practice.
Absolutely.
And I'll go out and do it with a 22. Like I got a little 22 Henry scope on it. I love that fucker first.
17 HMR.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you
Love
freehand, you just walk around because I get them around buildings and stuff, at the farm. So you just, walk around, you get one, you boop, nice, not gonna, I'm not blowing holes and shit, that kind of thing. But that's my go-to for woodchucks when I do see them. But
sweet.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
No, thanks guys for having us down. We
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely.
it.
yeah, this is your chance. So you want to tell people about your class?
Oh, so we just do, if you're anywheres up near Amsterdam, Glen, Fonda, Fultonville, we can do pretty much all the counties. We do pistol permit classes for New York. So if you want to get your pistol permit, I know you guys have them from your stories you tell. And then we also do, because a lot of people come and it's only 2 hours of range time when you get to class, but a lot of people want more training. So we hold women's only and men's only classes, and then we have a mixed class. And they come up and you get to practice everything from drawing from your holster, a lot of different positional shooting, and it's all real life stuff that you might do out and about. So, shooting, has anybody ever shot from laying on their back? Probably not. What if somebody attacks you and you fall over? Or you might have to shoot from the ground. So stuff like that we go over, and it's a lot of fun. I think we have like 14 or 15 women in our women's class now, and when they're done, it's really awesome. It's great, the difference between, just like us, the difference between the men's and the women's class. The guys are shooting and they miss, and they're like, oh, you suck, and the women, when they're all together, they're like, oh, you did such a good job, you did great, and
Sparkles and sunshine.
your wife can attest to this, but
Right.
it's really great. And when they come here, they have, it's not just the women, it's the guys
I'm
too.
not going up there then. Jesus Christ.
It's not just
I
women, it's the
suck with my
guys too.
pistol.
They come to class and they're like, well, I have this pistol, I don't really know, how to use it, or I'm not really comfortable with it. And we start with the basics, drawing, just aiming at the target, shooting at 3 yards, getting your grip set, learning how to put the sights in line with your eye. And then as it progresses every week, we do more. We do reloads. We're drawing from concealment and shooting. We're shooting and moving. Every week it progresses till the end of the year. We do it from like spring to fall. And then we do a big fun shoot in the fall. So you guys have to come up. That's for everybody. And it's just a lot of fun. We shoot bowling pins, and we have a couple really cool steel targets. They spin like a Texas Star kind of. And then while that's doing like the bad guy there, we have shoot and no shoots targets. So just a lot of fun. Everybody learns something. They have they gain a lot of experience. But like I said, by the time that they're done at the end of the fall, they're pros. And we'll say this all the time: women are better shooters than men. They're inherently better. And my father says it the best. He said it's because women will listen and follow instructions, and guys just want to blow shit up. So, and
Guilty.
So, and that's true. So everybody has fun. It's great. It's a good time. We do all sorts of other stuff. Like I said, we sell some thermals. We sell some. When you need ammo, let us know. We'll get you. You do your transfer for you.
Yeah, because nobody will do it down here for
Yeah,
me.
we'll do it. It's not a big deal. We don't. advertise it a lot. We don't like do it for everybody, but if you have something you need, we can do it, and still have to do the background check and everything. But
just fine.
Yep, we do reloading classes. We do a shotgun class. So if you have any questions, you can give us a call, 518-774-1644. You can see us online. And thanks for having us down here. Really appreciate it.
It's a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where can they find you on the interwebs?
So defendertraining.org. It's the defendertraining.org on online, and then on Facebook it's Defender Training. And what's the YouTube?
The YouTube is Defender Predator Control. We also have New York Coyote Hunters on Facebook as well.
So a little bit everywhere. You guys can check us out, and if you like it, good. If not, well, they already listen to you guys, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah. Welcome to the shit show.
No. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll put some links in the description of the episode.
Yeah, thanks for doing what you guys do. Like I said, we found you on accident. I was like, well, somebody's got to do a podcast in New York, and we had the Downwind Outdoor guys that did the videos, and they're right in New York. I'm like, sweet. And then we saw that you guys did the podcast here, so I shared it on the page and stuff, and it's great. Glad you guys do it and have people that we know, do it and explain a lot of stuff. It's awesome to have local
stop
guys that
it.
do it.
Thank you.
Not you, mostly Josh.
Make me blush.
Carl's going to blush.
I don't blush.
No, we appreciate you guys taking the time to drive down here. I know we're not right next door, but it's been a blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna have to come up.
For sure.
For sure, yeah.
That's definitely gonna happen.
Maybe we could do a big collab. We'll have Mr. Rush and
Brian will be down.
Andy and all those guys.
We'll go to the 8-dog field. Maybe we can clean
Yeah,
it up.
right? Yeah. We'll have the whole field surrounded.
That was super fun hunting with them. I cannot wait to go back up with them guys because their style is just. I mean, they showed us a ton.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then we're like driving home, and I'm like, "Did you see?" Like he's driving, like, "Did you see how they?" He's like, "Yes." And I'm like, I can't wait to go hunting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I just wanna. I gotta go now. I gotta try this. So, it's good though. We do this, and I appreciate you saying that. We do the main thing that we try to push is the safety.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
Firearms
number one.
at night, and teaching and go learn from somebody who knows.
Yeah.
Okay, and same thing. As in the predator hunting community, just respect each other, man. We've had dirty stuff happen to us. If we find a spot and we ask and somebody hunts it, that's it, man. We're out. You know what I mean? I do not, be good to each other. So I feel like it gets too crowded, and there's a lot of competition, and then there's a lot of bullshit, and it should never be like that.
Right.
We're all out there to do a job. I do it because what happened to me, you guys do it. That's why we ask you this, is so we get everybody's angle. Like, why do you do this?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like it's necessary? And they're all very good points.
Yeah, I was at a going away party. It's probably almost a month ago now, and the podcast came up. And
awesome! You didn't tell me that.
I'm like, oh, you do a podcast? What's it about? I'm like,
shitting in the field.
No, no. I was like,
bear attacks.
Bear attack. That was a big fucking bear.
We hunt coyotes and we have a podcast about it, and they're like, oh. I was like, well, most of the property we hunt is farms,
right?
So we're helping out farmers, protecting livestock. We're not just going out there just because,
right? That's why I do it, and then I know lots of farmers, so it just made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say that
and
when
then
you go
talk
to a farm,
them and they're like, "Yeah, come."
Yeah, when you go to a farm that has a problem and you shoot one or two, the first or second time that you're out there, there's something about that just.
Hell yeah.
It's super rewarding when landowners got a smile on their face because you're protecting their livestock and you're having fun doing it.
Right.
Nothing better.
Yeah. I have people ask me, they're like, "You don't charge for this?" And I'm like, "No, we should."
It's too much damn
That's
fun.
a really good idea.
Way too much fun.
But we do this for. I had a discussion. I had to pick some furniture up from an auction house today, and this lady runs the auction house, and she saw my sticker on the back of the truck, and she goes, she reads it, "Smoke a pack a day," and it's a crosshair with coyotes in it, and she's like, "Dogs?" And I'm like, "Coyotes." Oh, and then So 30 minutes later, we're talking about shooting coyotes and like how I do it and why I do it, and then she tells me her experiences with coyotes on her property, and I'm like, well, here's my card.
Let me know.
Yeah, we be there. But that's something totally random,
Yeah.
like a antique furniture auction house, and this lady, and I forget her name. Oh my God, but because I'm terrible with names, but she was totally into it and totally like just wanted to know.
Yeah.
And same thing that just happened today. I forgot to tell you that. That's crazy.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your bit.
All right, Jeremy, Nick. Again, thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate the offer.
Yeah. We'll have you back.
As long as you don't ask for any permission when you're down.
I already told you I got one down the road. So.
I'll see you there.
I'll buy a 223 too.
Yeah. What time we meeting?
Yeah. You know where to find us. One Predator Podcast, all your favorite podcasting apps, One Predator Facebook page. Give us a follow, send us a message, email onepredatorhunts@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next one.